You've had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce, but have you had them covered in sauce? Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo or honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker out there, you can try spicy ghost pepper, only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. Listen, I'm going to dare you to do it. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs that you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and then grab a few more napkins and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
From the hills of Strawberry Canyon, I'm Coin Dang, and this is the Golden Bear Cast. Let's go. Go Bears.
And welcome back to another episode of the California Golden Bear Cast, a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. If you didn't know, this is our season preview podcast. The hype is abundant, folks. Football season is around the corner. And I don't know what else to say. It feels like we're back. It feels like this should be 2020 from 2018 or 2019 because we didn't have a real 2020 year. So it's feeling like that. But I'm one of your hosts, Rob, alongside me, of course, the other host, Andy. Andy, how are you feeling this game week 1 of the 2021 season?
What's up, Rob? Feeling... Damn, hard to believe that that's actually the case. Also, quick random thought here. Did we have a new intro today?
We did.
Okay. How about that?
How about that intro?
Called our own shot. 3 weeks ago.
Was
Made
that
it
only
happen.
3 weeks ago?
I don't know. I took a loose guess.
I think it's like a little over a month ago now.
So I hope you all enjoyed the timeline there, just to bring any other listeners up to speed. We said that we were going to try to make something happen, and now you're at the point where we've made it happen. We went out and we got it. So I'm scared, Trace. That's too much. I don't want to belabor the subject. Things are good. Cal game on Saturday. Nice little 7:30 start time, which everybody loves. Everyone loves that start time. Nobody dislikes it. So...
But yeah, we're not the only ones here, as Andy gave that away. We're also joined by Cal rivals Trace Travers. How are you doing?
I do not like 7:30 start times. So I also have 8 hours of class before that, but still, it's a new season, all kinds of fun.
And last but not least, of course, formerly of the Daily Cal. The last time he was on this pod, he was part of the Daily Cal, and he's wearing a Daily Cal, what is that? Like an anorak or a quarter zip?
Quarter zip, it's the way to go.
But now, of the Right for California team, yes, W4C, baby. Josh is with us today, of course, to do another part of our predictions podcast. Josh, how are you?
Rob, Andy, Trace, good to be back in the Bearcast. I actually wanted to take a moment to pour one out for the old intro because that was fire. I loved going to sleep to not just the intro, but your guys' voices. So quick shout out to the old intro before we move on to the next.
Just a footnote, we're recording this on Tuesday night. These two have no idea what the new intro is. They have zero clue
I didn't know what the old
of what the new intro is. Only Andy and I know. And so it's going to be a surprise for them when they hear it, whenever they re-listen to this podcast, if they re-listen to this podcast. But that is not the case. You are listening to the Golden Bear Cast, and you've probably listened to that new intro, which is going to be pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, you did.
It's pretty nice. But anyways, we're moving on to the season predictions. All 4 of us have 4 predictions each for whether they be hot fire predictions like I did a couple years ago, non-hot fire predictions, maybe even negative ones, maybe super positive ones. We got them all here. We're going to go around. We're going to do one each. in rounds, and we're gonna give ourselves, some reactions to certain people's predictions. So with that, I will take no longer of your time doing an intro, and I'll hand it over to Trace for his first prediction of the 2021 football
Well,
season.
I was going to only make ironic predictions or technically true predictions that are easy to make. But, in the spirit of goodwill and charity, let's see. My one was going, before the depth chart came out, was going to be Ben Coleman will start more than half the games, but he's going to start at left guard, so that one got thrown out the window.
Yep.
Let's go with a guy whose name I think everybody will know by the time the season ends, and Mr. Ethan Saunders will lead Cal in sacks this year. Is something that I don't actually believe will happen. I believe Cam Good will lead the Bears in sacks. But to make an actual prediction, it will be that a non-inside linebacker leads Cal in tackles this year. Hasn't happened in the Wilcox era yet.
Ooh. Little spicy. Bacon or spicy. But I like it. Any of you two guys have reactions to his?
I love it. I think Ethan Saunders had a wonderful fall camp. Was not there. Heard through the grapevine.
He
Really
nearly
looking
broke
forward
my
to-
damn hand when he shook it. It's
Him
Same
and
here.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie
I guess both
is
of them, that makes
so
sense.
big.
Yeah.
God.
No, I'm fully with that. Trey's great pick. I think him and Jaden Roberts, the two true sophomores in that D-line group, will have a wonderful season.
Andy got nothing. You're saving. You're man of no words today. He's saving all of his for his takes.
No, I think that's a great pick of a player I know very little about.
Now Andy will know. Now Andy will look for number 99 on the field when he's watching
big.
Cal.
Great,
Large.
great number.
He'll be used as an outside linebacker in certain packages. So
It is beautiful. He's a really nice dude too. Super fun dude to
enthusiastic.
talk to. Mm-hmm. But move on to Josh. Give me your first prediction.
All right, Cal Twitter, Cal fans, gonna start a little bit on the low end of the spectrum so you all can warm up back up to me. Rob, Trace, and Andy, do you guys know off the top of your head what Justin Wilcox's non-conference record is as a head coach?
Undefeated.
10-1.
Undefeated is right. 9-0. Obviously, last year we only had the 4-game slate with Pac-12 opponents, but if you look back at the way seasons start in general, obviously with the non-conference guys, he gets them ready to play. Really, the Ole Miss games, of course, the pair of them, the North Carolina games, BYU off the top of my head, and obviously those FCF opponents, they get the job done early. But this year, man, there's something about Nevada and TCU. If you think about the last time we played these guys, my prediction is that Justin Wilcox will not remain undefeated in non-conference play. I don't think that the Nevada game is honestly a must-win if you look at the big spectrum of the season. But if you lose to Nevada, TCU becomes a must-win. So it's a weird schedule. We'll talk a little bit more about the schedule, I'm sure, obviously, on this pod and throughout the year. But the way that things stack up, 2020, I really feel like everything was lined up. I think we all felt the same way, at least on the more optimistic side. But while it's great to have the team back and while it's great to have things in somewhat relatively of a normal state, this year's schedule isn't too favorable. So I'll start there. Rob, you're shaking your head.
Damn.
Which one do we lose? Which one do
you
we
not
lose?
count the Cheez-It
That's
Bowl
a
as non-conference?
Oh,
they
true.
lost that
But
one.
I'll talk about Arizona and the state of Arizona a little bit. But
Oh, God. That doesn't bode well.
This is going from bad to worse. This isn't.
like I said, we're gonna start a little bit on the low end of the spectrum and work our way back up.
Oh man, yeah.
Wait, so which one are you saying we're going to lose,
Well,
Josh?
proportionally wise, Nevada's going to be the win. TCU's the loss. And if you want to talk about TCU in particular, I know you guys get to it. Max Duggan, the first TCU quarterback in 70 years to lead the team in rushing. They don't play a winning team from last year until October 16th. So while a lot of these folks in the Big 12 have obviously Texas and Oklahoma and Iowa State towards the top, I think TCU is an interesting case where playing on the road, it's going to be that big ESPNU game. This could be like sort of the revenge of the Cheez-It Bowl in one sense, but it's
They have a lot
it's
of
really
good running backs,
proportionally
actually.
wise, it's a toss up across the board. So I don't know if that perfectly answers your question, Andy, but we'll see.
No, it was a cop out. Disallowed.
Yeah. Hey, Nevada. I know you guys will talk about them in particular with the game in a few days, but 12th in the nation in passing offense last year. It's going to be an interesting challenge right off the bat. So really excited to see what the defense looks like this year. Sorry, Rob.
Man. No, I had a good feeling someone was gonna say that.
Carson Strong, more
but
like Carson Weak.
I believed in you, Josh. I didn't think it was you. I thought it was gonna come from Andy or Trace. But okay, that's a fair one. I think that's a fair one. Andy, your first prediction of the season.
You choose. You want to start with positive? You want to start with negative?
How many negatives do you have?
Equal.
Oh, equal. Let's get the negatives out of the way.
Justin Wilcox will be hired as the new head coach of Nebraska at the end of the season.
Holy smokes.
Absolutely not.
Hey. Andy, I'll let you continue your thought though, but that's a good thing, right? That means Cal just went 11-1, won the Rose Bowl, and now Wilcox is like the prime candidate for both Oregon, Nebraska, everybody. Heck.
You read that perfectly, Josh. Exactly. It's a
don't have
negative,
fishing
but
in
it's baked into a
Nebraska.
positive.
They don't have anything in Nebraska. They have Omaha, and people hate Omaha.
I have 2 colleagues that live in Omaha.
They hate it there.
Oh shoot! I can't believe you
I would
went
like to
there.
say I've never been to
Technically, that's
Omaha,
not even
so
a
I
2021 prediction because that hire would be made
That's what you think.
in the off season. Oh God.
Oh no, he leaves before the bowl game. He doesn't even stay for the Rose Bowl.
Oh, I swear to God, Andy, if you spoke this into existence, I swear to God. Oh my goodness, I can't
There
believe
is a
that's your
higher
first
chance
prediction.
that
Oh.
Nebraska hires Nevada's coach than they do of hiring Justin Wilcox.
Norvell. Andy, who's Cal's replacement then?
I was thinking about that.
It's Tosh.
I don't know. I think I was like, okay, would you replace in-house or do you go outside of the program? And I don't know if I wanted to take my head to that headspace entirely. I just wanted to throw it out into the ether and let you guys sit on it a little bit.
Oh God, that's why Tedford came back for a day, isn't it? This is all making sense now. The lines
Taylor
are all
takes a
connecting.
nice
He's
trip
setting
down
it up.
I-80.
I was about to say Troy Taylor would be my first thought this year in particular.
It's all happening.
You guys think it would be Troy Taylor?
Oh God, what if Sacramento State's the one that causes the streak to end?
That's what I was saying. You're not exactly.
It's full
Yeah,
circle.
shout out to Coach Taylor. We love Troy Taylor.
Ron Rivera gets tired of the Washington football team.
So that's a good one. I was also thinking that DeRuyter might be an easy hire back. Defensive philosophy. Trace shakes his head. That's fine. That's why it's a hot take, my friend.
Okay, I'm gonna pivot from that hard and give my prediction because we need to move on from that one. That one's gonna sting. That one's gonna sting for a little bit, and this is one of those
But
podcasts.
okay, but does it? If let's play out the scenario. In that case, Wilcox, we're at least 10-2, 9-3.
I don't know if he even needs to go that high. That's why I'm even more livid about this. I think he's already a hot commodity. Like, people saw what he did over 3-4 years here at Cal and transforming that defense in 2 years. Like, I think people know what they can get from him and maybe take that gamble on him, which is why I don't think he needs the 10 wins. He doesn't need that explosion. He can go 8-4 and I think would still get, that look. Hell, he got looks for an Oregon gig and he was 7-5?
5 and 7.
5-7. Yeah. So that's my take on that. Anyways. All right. Let's go a little bit more positive. God,
Rob's like, y'all suck.
y'all suck. Yeah. Trace has the most positive one out of our first round of predictions.
I've
Says
become
a
a
lot.
football nihilist, so this means nothing.
My first one is that the offense as a whole, will score more than 35 in at least 6 games this season. Don't ask me to list which games.
Oh, you have to.
I can't. Not off the top of my head. But at least 6 games. At least 6 games. And I will say 4 of those minimum 6 will be Pac-12 games.
Okay, so let's just isolate the Pac-12 games.
At Washington, host
Yep.
Wazoo.
Yep.
Any of those, Rob? We're going over 35?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. At Oregon's going to be tough.
Yeah, at Oregon's going to be tough.
Colorado at home, sure.
Yep.
Oregon State.
Oregon
Oregon
State.
State. Those are like the
Something
those
weird
have to
always
be in that
happens
group.
against
Yeah.
Oregon State.
And then Stanford and UCLA, I assume, are the toss-ups, right? It'll be a
Yeah.
close game, probably.
I think we'll drop 35 on UCLA. I think we'll drop 35 plus on UCLA.
I want to see UCLA play an actual team before.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. After watching that game, I thought Hawaii had a lot of chances on that defense, but they just could not capitalize. The wide receivers could not catch the ball to save their life.
Oh,
Well,
not
that
that
Hawaii
Hawaii's
team
offense.
beat
They couldn't
Nevada
wrap
last
up.
year.
That's true too. But that is my take, which
Interesting take.
which I thought was spicy, but clearly not. All things considered, one guy thinks we'll lose the out of conference streak, and one guy thinks our coach is going to get hired at the end of the season. So
By Nebraska.
I'm Nebraska.
I mean, Jasper came in here and told us that Sheehan was going to be like going to win us a game last year.
So we do not talk about 2020 special teams on this podcast. We're done there.
Oh,
Shout out Jasper. Love you, dude.
Shout out to
shout out to
Jasper.
Jasper. All right, that's the end of round 1. We move on to round 2. Trace, what you got for me?
All right, in the spirit of ripping off last year, Jamison Shan will win a game for Cal, a la Blake Hayes last week for Illinois, where a punt will be muffed because it is very difficult to catch. Cal will recover a fumble, and they will win by less than 7 points because of that.
Oh, those are the first points of 2021.
Yeah, that was a
no.
surprisingly fun game to watch. So,
Trace, I'm with that. I think Jamison Sheehan as a whole, I don't know if he'll win us a game, but I think like it's important to mention just the adjustment, right? Having the full year to really get acclimated. I think there was a good Cal Bears feature on him and making
Yeah,
the transition from Aussie rules. Like it's great.
my favorite story from him is during the pandemic, he went to Home Depot so he could, he bought some buckets and cement and metal bars and made his own weights out of cement and metal bars. Just true
Dope.
ingenuity from the country that brought us, that's not a knife, this is a knife.
Just do the Home Depot buckets, put a bar between them, and you're
Put
set.
cement
And
in
then
them.
fill them
Yeah.
with concrete.
Yeah.
You
That's why
make
he
do with
came
what
to
you
Cal.
have,
He's a
right?
smart kid. He's industrious.
I can't believe we're gonna have 2 years in a row where we're gonna hype our punter. If he's not good this year, I'm holding all of you guys personally accountable.
We're
It's
still
only
living
because
on.
I don't want to talk about anything real. I hope you know
Andy,
that.
we're still on the high of either Stephen Coots 2018 or Brian Anger's career. We're still riding that high.
Yeah,
It's never going away.
exactly.
It's never going away. Okay. Wow, we did bring the punter back again in 2 seasons in a row. I have to go back and listen to our 2019 prediction because I wonder if we did talk about our punter then too. Because if we did, that's a streak.
Oh,
that
and I
continued
remembered.
for years.
Andy said it. Andy was like, Stephen Coots going to win us a game.
Yeah, that was me. I will own that one. I started it all.
You started it. Oh, he's the variant.
I feel like he came close.
On the topic of 2019, Rob, you were also Cal's going to break the single season rushing record, which we looked up after the fact was in the 50s.
Yep. Yeah, we looked it up after the fact. That was not a smart play on my part. Not a smart prediction on my part. Okay. All right, Josh, what you got for me next?
All right, here's the good stuff.
Yes.
One of Cal's pass catchers makes an all Pac-12 team. And the obvious choice, and Andy's going to ask, okay, who is it? All right. The obvious choice is probably Kakoa Crawford. Mm-hmm. I'm leaning more towards Jake Tonjes in that direction, but my reasons are a little bit different. With Bill Musgrave's offense, you're going to see a decent amount of 2 tight end sets. I think Tonjes as a whole, he's at the point where he's no longer the walk-on guy. He is fully entrenched as the man, the redshirt senior, 5th year. But I really do think that this offense opens up because of the supporting cast. I've always been a big fan of Trayvon Clark, 6'4", above the rim receiver. I've always complimented Michael Pittman Jr. He's obviously not at that place, but I really do expect big things from him. And then, if I've talked to you guys privately about this, you may know, Justin Baker has my favorite recruiting tape of all time besides Brendan Bigelow. I know him and Jeremiah Hunter came in as sort of the 1-2 punch of that group, and Hunter had his, was out for last season with the injury. I'm really excited about all those guys. Monroe Young, too. I can't forget about him. So, Nico Remigio is obviously the one that I don't want to just leave out of this conversation. But I think because of the play of the supporting cast, you're going to see a lot of defenses worried about those guys. Henceforth, you'll see a guy like Jay Tondich or Kakoa Crawford step up. All Pac-12 team. Boom.
Trace, when's the last time Cal has had a receiving player on the All Pac-12 team?
I guess sometime during the Dykes era. Give me
We'll
one.
play Chad Hansen 2016.
Yeah, that might be the last
that
one.
would
D-Rob?
check out. No.
Oh, D-Rob may have been honorable mention. I don't know.
That was the same year.
Or
as
he was
Chad.
either on the freshman. He could have been on the freshman team for sure.
I'm thinking first team, second team, maybe
Yeah.
honorable mention. One of these guys,
Games.
Crawford at Tonjes, big year.
Sounds about right. Chad Hansen sounds about right. I can't think of anyone prior that would have made that list.
Considering Chad Hansen, I think his 2016 season was he was second all time in yards per game by a Cal receiver during a season. He had to have earned something. First
Yeah, he
is
had
Jeff
to have been
MacArthur for anyone wondering.
Definitely at least second team for Chad Hansen that year. At least. As Trace, our Cal encyclopedia, finds that out. I think he's searching for it. I can't.
I
Yeah,
like
the
that
record
pick a
book's
lot
slow.
because Josh also took the time to substantiate why he made it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not.
It was
just-
well. That I don't have much to say because it was well done. Good pick. Needs to be hotter though.
Andy is
First team, only first team. screw Drake London, screw Johnny Johnson the third. We got the top receivers in the Pac-12.
Yes. There's the hot
That's
takes
more
moment.
like it.
All right.
Most
Andy.
recent one was Kenny Lawler in 2015.
Oh goodness, that makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah, that does.
That checks out.
That is surprising that Chad Hansen wasn't in like the top
He
two
gets
teams.
no respect. Also, I don't
Wow.
remember most of 2016. So
That too. That too. All right. Andy, are you going to give me more fire?
Yeah.
pew, 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 pew.
Damian Moore leads the Pac-12 in rushing.
Oh, good lord.
Ooh.
Woohoo.
How many yards?
Ooh, yeah, what consists of leading the conference in rushing?
I mean, he averages over 100 a game. Absolutely. So let's go 1350 and 8 touchdowns.
I feel like he'd get more than 8 touchdowns if that's the case, but no.
8 rushing touchdowns. Doesn't include catching.
What did CBJ have 2 years ago? 9? Something like
9
that?
and 4 touchdown receptions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's within reach. I mean, if you look at the other, I think it's important to consider what the rest of the Pac-12 looks like, right? Like Max Borghi, Derek
Yeah.
Broussard,
Yep.
CJ Verdell. It's solid, but not spectacular. I like it.
Charbonnet, who looked great against Hawaii.
Oh god, I cannot leave him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, see, 1,300 yards, 1,350 with 8 touchdowns sounds great. I don't know if that's enough to win the rushing title.
That's fair. CBJ was 1110.
Yeah.
So I might have to step that one up.
I think that has to get into the 1600s. I think it has to get to that. I think you need a couple of 200 plus yard games.
Damn, Vic went for 1,417.
Yeah.
All right, fine. 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns. There you go.
JJ
I
Arrington
think-
can do that in his sleep.
Damian Moore, man, he's the truth. Mini Marshawn,
Hey,
that's my name for him.
Andy believes, especially after he saw the depth chart that came out today. Andy's a firm believer.
I call him slightly larger CJ Anderson.
Perfect. Slightly larger CJ.
Just-
I'll take that all day.
He's a
That's
little
an interesting
taller, a
comp.
little bigger. Musgrave agreed with it, so I'm vindicated. So
Slightly bigger CJ Anderson. That's what I'll call him from now on. It's a very long nickname, but it's a nickname. All right.
Sounds like that wasn't spicy enough for you guys. All right.
No, that's pretty spicy. But I
No.
okay.
a Cal running back hasn't led the conference in rushing since, let's say, 2008. Javed.
Yeah, the 08.
I love that,
08
man.
Javed.
You don't think Justin Forsett got it?
No, no, Justin Forsett was
That was the
before
year
Javed.
after Forsett.
Yeah,
Oh,
08.
yeah. What am I talking about? What about Shane? Sorry, that's what I meant.
09. Oh no, 10 Shane, 2010 Shane.
And Shane, I don't think he would have gotten there just because LaMichael James was at Oregon at that time, and that was their year where they went to the title game.
That was
Right.
the year that we should have beaten them too.
Yep.
2010.
That was my freshman year at Cal.
1100.
That was not fun.
Oof. Yep. I was standing
11
on the 30-yard line when Tavecchio kicked that field goal. Anyways,
Ooh,
we can
That's
move on
okay.
to happier things.
Wait, if you
that's
were-
not heartbreak.
Which 30?
Heartbreak is the Oregon State game.
Oregon State 2007, Arizona 2014. We can go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, Nam decided to he's not here, but he was supposed to be on this pod, but he just opened the wounds of all Cal fans when he put out that tweet about Oregon
Yeah.
State. Out of nowhere, he just woke up and chose violence. It just no context whatsoever.
Honestly, it's one of those, where were you when this happened? I remember exactly where I was. I know a lot of other Cal fans are like, oh yeah, I was either on Taiwan Hill, I was at my seat, I was watching at this bar. I've recalled those stories. It's horrifying.
Andy, where were you? Were you on the sideline?
I was at the game. No, I was yeah, I was on the sideline.
You were on the sideline. Okay, I was in the student section. Trace, do you remember where you were in that Oregon State game?
Row
Wait, no,
42,
timeout.
Section G.
I was with Trace.
He doesn't even look up. I want to acknowledge that. He's like, yeah, I was there.
Section G, seat 42.
Row 42, seat 17.
That's amazing. I was actually in the stands. I was wrong. I was not on the sideline. I was on the sideline for Javid's injury. I was.
Oh, that Oregon State game.
Oof.
Yeah, that Oregon State game.
I didn't see that
Okay.
one live.
Yeah, no, I didn't. No, no. Don't need to.
All right, so I need to correct one thing. The stats I was looking at were all-time rushing yards. I was like, "There's no way."
So wait,
Vic
Vic got to
Yeah.
1,401 season.
17
Yeah. Okay.
So quick adjustment there.
All right.
All right.
So what are you
Moving
pivoting
on.
to? Is it still 1,600 yards, 1,500 yards?
Let's just go with my original. Let's go. We'll bump it up a little bit. 14, 50, and 12.
Okay.
Go
All right.
1420.
1420.
14, 20, and 12.
6.9 yards per carry.
I was just about to say that.
All right, my next one. I'll go with another. That's another one. I was kind of coming off of what Trace predicted about Ethan Saunders. I predict that our two starting outside linebackers, Coin Dang and Cam Good, will both have double-digit sacks this season. Double-digit
Something that
sacks.
has not been done in 13 years by one person.
Double-digit sacks. I mean, 10 apiece, right? It's like they get one a game. So it's not asking. I don't think it's too unrealistic, but it is kind of unrealistic. It's on that real cusp, but I think they'll both get to 10. I think they'll both at least get to 10 sacks.
Rob, I have a follow-up question. So
Sure.
if Dang, obviously the move to outside linebacker, it's a good fit for Dang. We've known this since he arrived. How do you feel like the inside linebackers will hold up now that you got Tattersall, Yusufa, and obviously Anselados' injury?
See, I think if Trace, I don't know if Trace can back me up on this. I think if Anselados was there, I wouldn't be as worried. But because he's out, there is at least a question mark to the overall depth of the unit. I still firmly believe the three guys or the top two guys will be solid. But I felt like they were going to rotate guys a lot more at inside linebacker this year and more than the last 2-3 years. So that's
Don't sleep on the pride of Los Gatos, Kyle Smith. And
Who is the number 2 guy?
Is
Yeah.
a pretty good fit at the position.
Yeah.
I like his mobility.
Yeah, the star,
Yeah.
correct? Like the
Yeah. I'm
the
a
transition from DB. Yeah,
I'm a firm believer of Trey Pastor too. We just haven't seen them play enough. That's why it's a question mark for me. I don't think they'll be bad. I just don't know if they'll be good.
My only worry is that they're a little bit thin right now, and if say, God forbid, like one of them gets hurt and Dang has to move back to inside linebacker, that's where just things get really wacky. It's not like a total catastrophe, but
I don't think they do that, to be honest with you. But it is something to keep in mind.
There are questions for sure. We just don't know the answers to those yet. But we might know come Saturday night. All right, we're halfway through this. All right,
Oh my.
we're going through. As I get an alert for people subscribing to Right for California, what timing that is. Anyways, we continue. Trace, give me your number 3 prediction.
All right. Let's see. He already did Tonjes. Can't do that one because. So unsurprisingly, Jeep Christ thinks that Tonjes can be an first team All Pac-12 type of guy. Let's see. What's something not obvious? That a defensive back has. Let's see. During the Wilcox era, no defensive back has had more than 6 interceptions in a season. I'll say they get past that this season.
Ooh.
7 interceptions for Daniel Scott.
oh my God, Trace, I kid you not, that is exactly what my prediction was next.
Shoot.
I swear, I have it in my notes. The Cal defense will record 20 interceptions. Daniel Scott will lead the way with 7. Holy smokes.
We are a hive mind. We are a hive mind. It has been completed. Oh, the ritual is complete. We are now a hive mind. Wow, 7. 7 for Daniel Scott at safety.
Yeah. He's a ball hawk, and a lot of what I've seen more of from teams is that they're throwing more to the inside receivers as opposed to the outside guys. Especially Cal will run man and bump and run on the outside, making them a little less open in space. And big fan of Daniel Scott, even though he was injured for a good portion of fall camp. And while the safety position does probably have the most depth of anyone on defense, it's something that I think could ostensibly happen if things break right, which is most of the things for this year. So,
Oh, dang it. Wow. Okay. Man, and you had one about the DBs too, Josh?
Yeah, I was saying, I don't even have to go anymore. No, but seriously, I'll give a shout out to the other kind of veterans slept on over the past few years. So we know the takers, that core 4. I'm going to give a shout out to Josh Drayton. I think he's going to lead all DBs. I don't know if they even look at this. DBs in the Pac-12 and tackles for loss. I also think that he is one of the, the versatility is through the roof in terms of obviously playing nickel, and I think they're going to put him outside this year. So with Hicks at safety and Chiggy on the other side. So Daniel Scott was my guy for leading the team in interceptions. Remember, in 2018, they recorded 21. And that was like I don't know if they'll ever get to this again, but I'm going to go with 20, at least 20. And Daniel Scott, maybe not 7, will lead the team in picks.
Josh Drayden does subscribe to the Dan Campbell Detroit Lions eating kneecaps philosophy.
Lovely.
Oh, by the way, if we're going to talk about the takers real quick, any NFL teams out there, please sign Travion Beck. Please.
We've been clamoring
Today
this
was
for
not a good day as far as cuts for Cal football
No.
players.
This is true.
So,
was not.
except for
Was
Jake
not.
Curhan
And NFL
and
teams,
Steve
if you're still
Anderson.
there, please sign Zionde. Please sign Evan Weaver. Great guys. You won't regret it.
Take Ian Bunting.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Curhan though.
Shout out to Curhan.
Larkspurs.
Shout out to
Redwood
Jake
High School
Curhan, who is
football.
on the roster for the Seahawks.
Had a
Shout out to
48-0
that.
win over College Park of Pleasant Hill on Saturday, and get an NFL player signed on whatever day this is, Tuesday.
Tuesday. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, two defensive predictions. I am wondering what Andy has to come up with next.
Now I have to be a defensive prediction?
No, I'm just saying. Like I'm just curious as to what you come up with next.
Okay. Well, I'm back to my negative, so enjoy this one. I have two of them. I'm going to just say one of them. Cal will have the worst home attendance record ever
Like across the whole season, or like a specific game?
across the whole season.
Man, Andy's just coming with like
I
hits
mean, last year
and
was
hits
all
and
zero,
hits.
so they'd be hard to do that unless they're killing people in the stands.
That doesn't count, Trace.
No,
when
they were
fans could actually attend.
The cardboard cutouts.
Yeah,
There were like
don't
30
they
of them.
count? Don't cardboard cutouts count? But to be fair, they couldn't even fill the stadium with cardboard cutouts. So
When the A's pulled 4,000 for the Mariners game and then followed up with 9,000 for the Yankees game, I was like, all right. What is Cal going to pull against Nevada? Like, it's going to be tough. I mean, you look at UCLA and what that looked like for their opening game, and yeah, students weren't in session, but let's be realistic here. There's not a lot of people that are signing up to go in big crowds these days. Sometimes.
Hey, if we get our own section, we don't have to worry about the whole like if people come near us, we're like, oh, we got our own row, we're fine.
it's true.
Yeah, everyone will have their own row. Don't get me wrong.
I don't want to be around.
There's the
people
potential
anyway.
for that to shift.
All of Andy's predictions are like this is dark, but here's the silver lining to it.
That's pretty much where Andy is right now.
Except for my Damian Moore one, which was hot fire.
All right, so what's your prediction? I'm gonna ask you a little bit more specific. What's your prediction for the attendance of the Nevada game?
Damn, I think really bad. Labor Day weekend.
What, you don't think people are coming for the free towels?
No, everyone's going to Giants Dodgers.
Yeah.
Alaska
Dude, it's like-
Airlines voucher on Saturday.
it's yeah, you have so much going against Cal. You have the Giants Dodgers happening. Exactly, spot on, Josh. The freaking Alaska buy one get one giveaway, which is like the biggest deal of the year. And then on top of it, you have fires happening and people displaced. You have a pandemic, and that's just it. And then it is also Nevada, so out of conference. And okay, so what am I gonna say?
7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Trace's favorite, self-declared. 15,000.
Oh no.
That's my guess.
I don't want to be even downer, but that seems high for me. I think it's going to be less than that.
Like the worst attended game of the past of the Wilcox era was the Washington State game where they drew only 27,000. So
And that was the smokeout, right?
that was
Friday
the-
night smoke number. Yeah.
the
Friday night.
strangest game I've ever attended. I still think to this day, but
Wasn't that Friday the 13th too?
yes, it was.
It was Friday the 13th. It was the smoke game, and then we were hosting Washington State, who was what, number 7 in the country at the time?
8.
Yeah,
8?
whooped him.
Yeah, and we whooped them. We absolutely whooped them.
To the point where I don't understand how Mike Leach has a well-paying job at an SEC school.
Yeah, that guy really shouldn't be in charge of leading people. Nope. All right, well, enjoy the 15K that show up for the game
Wow.
on Saturday.
Wow. Absolutely wow.
Yeehaw.
All right. Well, I guess it's on to mine. I am at my third one. All right, here we go. I'm going to finish off our whole thing on our defensive backs. So, the Bears will lead the country in interceptions by the end of their out-of-conference schedule. By the end of Sacramento State, they'll be number 1 in the country in interceptions.
Okay. So Carson Strong, we know, is going to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
TCU won't as much.
But they still will.
But it's Cal TCU. There's gonna be like 20 interceptions.
Exactly.
And then Sac State. Okay, we'll get a couple.
Yeah. So I think we'll lead by week 3. What that means for the rest of the season, I don't know.
Actually, the last time that Carson Strong in Nevada played a Power 5 team was against Oregon in 2019. They lost 77-6. So there are a few interceptions in that game. I don't know how many off the top of my head, but
See, I don't know why people are so hyped about Nevada. Why do people think that offense is so good?
I mean, last year happened. There's been a lot of time between those two games, this game and that game. So
We shall see. We shall
Cal
see.
does lead the series over Nevada, 32-6-1. So
Yeah.
And Nevada's got the 2-game winning streak.
they do. But Cal also lost the other 2-game losing streak Cal had to Nevada was in the year 1917, and they lost 2 games to Nevada 2 weeks apart.
Ugh.
First game in 1899.
Wow.
I have a nice
Trace
piece of
has
paper
the
that says all
game
that.
notes on hand. He's not saying this
I was gonna say
He's not
pulling
saying
it
this
out
off the top
of
of his head.
I mean, I would have known that otherwise, but I
Yeah, it
have the
doesn't
game
surprise me
notes
at
right
all.
Yeah,
here.
it doesn't. No. If you've spent enough time with Trace, you can kind of ask him about Cal history, and he'd most likely know it. Or would have a very, very good educated guess as to the answer to that question.
Yeah, it's
If
It
I
is my
recall
burden.
correctly,
it is my sister's.
when I was watching the game in 1899,
When I was a wee young lad.
back there in the
Okay.
1920s.
It's when Starkey was a little boy.
seriously.
Trace was walking Joe Starkey around the stadium. That's what he was doing.
Oh
I'm
man.
assuming this means I'm a time traveler.
Yes.
me.
You
Cool.
are a time traveler.
I'm up for that.
All right. Our last round. Trace, you're now on the clock.
So in a replication of the famous scene from Temple of Doom, Oski pulls the heart out of the tree during the big game. And for my
Now-
actual prediction, Jeremiah Hunter leads Cal in receiving yards.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. That is a pretty good one. Dang. So
I could see
you
it
think
happening.
so you think he's gonna go up the depth chart like as the season progresses?
I think he's too good of a player not to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll take time, but he'll get there. It's like I thought.
Andy, are you getting hyped now?
What I thought was
Yeah, that's
going to
right.
happen with Ben Coleman, but he's already there. So,
Yep.
one correct prediction for me.
Going off of the youngsters, and I know Hunter's been around the program for a second year. Do you think we'll see Jermaine Terry or J. Mike in any significant role, if that makes sense?
Terry
Not like the
first
Sacramento
before
State
J.
fourth
Mike.
quarter. Okay.
Terry's gonna play. J. Mike, he has had a cast on his wrist for most of fall camp, so I don't know when he'll be back. But Justin Wilcox did say today, Jermaine, he's gonna play.
Yeah. I mean, the other note is Wilcox also did say that all of his wide receivers are healthy and are able to play. To what extent and what that means, who knows? But at the very least, it means that no one's like long-term injured.
I know Coach at this time of the year, he always does the everybody's gonna play. With the D line, he was like 9 guys are gonna play. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
I mean, I think this year is different because I think from what we've seen at fall camp, they actually do have 9 guys that can play. Versus
Great.
you had 4 guys that can play and 5 guys that you were hopeful could be better with game time. Versus now it's like you have 9 guys that you can probably start and they would still be able to keep up.
I can't tell whether I'm more terrified of Cal rotating 8 guys plus Luke Beckett or the Niners rotating Garoppolo and Lance mid-game, because we've seen that movie before, guys.
Two
Arizona,
QBs.
coincidentally
Two
enough, is
QBs.
actually doing that this year.
Oh,
And
my
Stanford's
hot take-
gonna do that
my
in
next
our
hot take's about
opener.
Arizona. I did see that. Yeah.
They'll probably
As-
play
as-
the Mormon guy.
As someone who's been through that, I don't wish that upon any fan base ever. Ever. The amount of emotional toil that Andy went through in his heart every week to figure out who he was going to back and who he was going to tell the bench. You could see the fear in his eyes. If he gets this wrong this week, he's got to eat all his words and come back, which is what kind of happened with Garbers and McElwain.
Yeah, it did happen, and Garbers liked the tweet.
That's why you don't tag people.
I didn't tag him.
Oh, shit.
I wouldn't tag him in it. The tweet just said, "We don't have a quarterback," and then Chase Garbers found it and liked it.
Well, he's QB1 now. No, undisputed. Go Chase.
He is undisputed QB1.
Undisputed.
Undisputed. All right.
Until my next hot take. No.
Zach Johnson saves the season.
Robbie Rowell steps in after all quarterbacks go down. Oh, please.
It's like Connor Cook starting his first game in the playoffs for the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Robbie
Yep.
Rowell, MMA quarterback.
He does look like that. He does have the bulk to him to be able to do that. He has the shoulders.
Throwing elbows.
Throwing bows. Okay, Josh, what's your final prediction? Hit it.
All right, I got 1A, which is really short, and 1B, which is a good one.
Okay.
1A, the hot take. Cal beats Arizona. You know why that's a hot take? Because we all know why it's a hot take. Playing in the desert, it's going to be November 6th. Look, I like what Jed Fish is doing with the program, but Arizona's going to finish 6th in the Pac-12 South. South is a much better division, in my opinion, this year than the North. I really, really do not want to lose to Arizona this year. Cal's going to beat Arizona. My real last hot take, there's been a lot of debate about who are the NFL guys in this roster. It's really tough. I mean, Brett Johnson is obviously the clear in a way, like, okay, this guy, like, has the prospect potential. But once you get there, it's like a bunch of fringe guys. You know, can Coin make it to that next level? Can any of the O-line, Will Craig, Daltos, any of these guys have a legitimate shot? Obviously, the freshmen, still a little bit too early to tell. My prediction is that Cam Good this year becomes a first-team All-Pac-12 selection and becomes an NFL draft pick. Not quite a defensive end in size, maybe not athletic enough to be a linebacker. We know he fits the 3-4 scheme in college very well. I think this is the year where it all comes together for this guy. We love him. This is sort of the last, good times for this guy, and I really hope that he gets the opportunity to stay healthy for one, because once he's healthy, he's going to do big things. So Cam Good, he may not be a 4th or 5th round pick, but just being able to get drafted the way that people have kind of been like, well, he's great in college, but he's not going to do well in the NFL. I really hope Cam's gonna put some doubters to rest this year.
Hey. Cam Good, NFL draft pick. You heard it here first.
Came on strong last season, too, so...
That's the thing. Like, 2020 was, like, the year for a lot of guys, right? Yeah. And obviously Cam missing pretty much all of 2018. And 2019 was a solid, if not spectacular, year. 2020 was like, oh, he's the man. And he showed it for, 3.5, 4 games, whatever it was. So, 2021, last go around.
What's super weird is that a lot of Cal fans, I think, don't realize this. If we had a normal 2020 season, regardless of how the season would have ended, wins, lost, no matter what, the 2021 team would be drastically different from what the team we have right now. Like, all the guys that would have left, and a lot of the playing time given to a lot more of the younger guys, this would be such a drastic difference of a team. But
I agree.
we have the team that we have, and we have the experience. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. But that's a good take. I like that one. But finally puts it all together from Cam Good. All right, Andy. You have to have a good one, right? It's not a negative one because you've used your 2 negative ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 2 positives. Because we let Josh get away with 2. All right, I'm just going to mainly go with my 1, which is, earmark September 25th, Washington, at home. Brett Johnson is going to ride on a golf cart with Marshawn's mom and Marshawn out of the gate and play in the game. Boom.
Trace, can you tell them what was in the game notes today?
I saw the game notes. Don't worry about the game notes.
believe.
Well, they're playing at Washington for one.
Damn it. Well, it's all for naught then.
The game
If you
gets
can't ride out with
rescheduled.
Marshawn,
The game gets
Due to-
rescheduled to be played in Berkeley.
I was staring at the schedule too and still got that wrong.
They
Nice.
set
Awesome.
Husky Stadium on fire, so Cal, they have to play at Cal.
Originally, I was going to go with USC, but I don't think they would bring him back just for 3 games. Doesn't make sense.
Could still redshirt with
Depending
just
on
3
how the
games.
season's Oh, that's true. Okay, so maybe we just say it's the USC game.
Yeah.
And
November
Also, that
13th.
if I remember correctly, one of Andy's takes last year was, a game will get canceled for 1, COVID, 2, fire, or 3, something else.
Yes. I actually have that written down, but I didn't want to say it because I already used my negative ones.
I mean, technically, right, the opening game was COVID, and then the second one I know at Wazoo was COVID, but it was for a totally different reason. They were there, they were ready, they were on the bus going, and then boom.
That it was so insane.
Arizona State as well.
I wrote down 3 games don't happen for uncontrollable circumstances. And I don't even think that's that hot of a take.
Yeah.
You look at where things are going right now, it's like, yeah. But anyways, Brett Johnson comes back from injury with Marshawn and his mom in a golf cart out of the tunnel.
I don't know what to say. I'm literally at a loss of words. Trace is nodding. Like, I don't,
I was looking at something else. I don't agree with this. Because with the nature of Brett Johnson's injury, I will be very, very surprised if he plays this year.
but to be fair, I have never seen a guy come back and like already doing boxing stuff. Like, it's
He's got the Wolverine healing factor, so that's one thing in and of itself. But
I mean, who knows? Maybe.
That's it. You heard it here. You heard it here first.
goodness.
Trace said there's a chance.
What?
so you're saying there's a chance.
You know, to be fair, Justin Wilcox is one where, like, you know, injuries are, like, super weird with, like, this team, right? And I doubt it's never the other way where it's, like, they come back earlier than usual, but maybe this is a decoy. He's done for the year. We won't see him till spring. Boom. Andy's right.
This is one of those fan theories that fans are trying to like put into existence. Like, I don't think he's playing this year, but we keep kind of. But is he? Like, wink, wink, Coach Wilcox. Like, but is he really out for the year?
Doing the Thor.
Like, yeah, it's the Thor meme. Is he really though?
Like, he's Brett Johnson. He can't be out for the full year, right?
Yeah. We keep telling ourselves that. All right. Well, here's my final one. Kind of hot, not really, but I think the tight ends will lead the team in red zone receptions and red zone receiving touchdowns on the team.
Can you speak to the efficiency of the red zone offense?
Like do I think that how much percent or what percentage they're going to be scoring at when they're in the red zone?
Are you saying I think it would be interesting for me to know, like, are you saying that not only will that skill group play a bigger role, but will also like be more effective?
Yes.
Rob, what I'll give you is this. One of the plays that I was not like studying religiously, but there's gonna be a lot of times when they're near the goal line and they're gonna have like the like jumbo in or like their supposed jumbo, right? With this group to 2 tight end set, right? They're gonna do play action and at least one's gonna be wide open.
Yep.
I mean, we saw that in the Red Box Bowl. We saw that a bit, I think, in the Oregon State game last year.
They're going
Jake
Saw it even in the
Ton just
second
don't
scrimmage.
drop wide open touchdown passes. That's it.
Trace, what did you have to say?
They did that in the second scrimmage too. A short one to Reinwald.
They have been passing. I mean, we only got to see 2 weeks worth of fall camp, but they were passing a lot to the tight ends. Whether that's like a big part of the playbook or if that's just something they're working on to incorporate into the playbook, we don't know. But that was a point of emphasis, at least like in their one-on-one situations and so on. So
I think what's interesting about the combo of Musgrave and Jeep Chris, both former NFL guys, is we're not getting older, we're getting wiser. So who knows? Maybe this could, the biggest thing about the red zone for me is not what they do, as long as they don't turn the ball over. Like straight up, like just no silly mistakes, right? If you need to settle for whatever it is, just don't give the ball up in the red zone. And I think they'll have some more opportunities this year with some of the bigger bodies and some of the packages that I'm sure Musgrave may hide from some of the Pac-12 teams at least early in the season. But I think as the year progresses, those tight end numbers will go up.
Yep. I think they're too talented.
Can I give a bonus hot take?
Sure, go ahead.
Cal has 2 special teams return touchdowns.
Thank you.
Special teams in general, or are we doing kickoffs, one kickoff, one punt, or just like across the board?
1 punt, 1 kickoff.
Ooh.
Both by Nico.
Ooh.
In the same game against Oregon State.
I
Then he takes the turnover chainsaw.
They take the turnover chainsaw. Nico scores, goes over there, grabs it, and brings it over to the Cal bench. I mean,
Don't get there. I mean, the game is in Berkeley, so I don't think they'll have it.
they won't
but
have it. Well, okay.
He takes a flight to Corvallis after the game.
I mean, he did have 2 close ones. Was it last season that he had like 2 like really, really long runs, both called back though due to
It was
blocking
against
the backs.
Oregon State.
Yeah. So it is.
He'll pull a Trevor Davis. This exact same return. The opposing team won't learn.
So we're gonna fire.
And
We're gonna get
someone's
Oregon
special
State's.
teams coach will get fired.
We're gonna get Oregon State's special teams coordinator fired. That's what's gonna happen.
That's the hot take.
So Oregon State special teams coordinators marking that Cal game as a potential last day at Oregon State.
Okay, Jake Cookus. His time is numbered.
I think the consensus hot take across the board is that special teams will be better this year.
Yeah. Very hot take.
Honestly, it better be. I think they know that by now.
Yeah, if Stanford I swear, if Stanford overloads one side on a field goal again, I'm gonna
Honestly, just go for 2 at that
Yeah.
point.
call the timeout. I'm gonna be very upset if they don't call a timeout this time. If they haven't learned, will they learn?
My mini hot take will be Cal beats Stanford this year on a blocked extra point by Luke Beckett.
And more points.
That's a mini hot take.
Just a little throw in there. Luke, no pressure, buddy. You got to do it for me. Welcome back.
Wow, flame on! Oh, good lord. Well,
Please let that game not be that close. Please.
I don't think we can handle another 28 or 2019 big game type of we left too much time on the clock. We left too
All right,
much
fine.
time on the clock.
A less exciting thing's gonna happen, right? The Stanford band's gonna storm the field because that would never happen.
All right. Well, we did all our takes. We did all of our predictions. One last thing before we go. Gents, do you have a prediction of how you think Saturday night is going to go? It doesn't have to be the score. It could be as wild as what you think Justin Wilcox will be wearing on the sideline. But whatever you want it to be, do you have a specific image of Saturday night? 7:30 in Berkeley against Nevada. Trace, you want me to start with you, or do you want me to go somewhere else?
I'll be hallucinating by halftime because I'll have been up for quite a while at that point. And with the fact that Nevada throws a lot, it'll be like 10 o'clock by the time it gets to halftime. So I will not be a happy camper at the Nevada game on Saturday in the press box.
But don't worry, you'll have Andy and me by your side.
I don't know. We may have weird seat placement this year because they still have the barriers up in the press
that's
box.
true. That's true. Okay. Well, your prediction is that you'll be delirious and very, very angry in the press box.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good one. We'll confirm that later if that was true or not. We'll tweet it out. Trace is very angry at this point in time, and he said he would be around 10 p.m. It is 10 p.m., and he's very angry.
No, there's an old picture in family photo albums when my family went to Hawaii for a family vacation. Me just passed out at a dinner that we went to. I'm going to predict I will be like that. Face down on the table.
And I will take a picture of that. to put into your family
Here
album.
lies, and here lies Trace.
We spent way too much time in this darn stadium.
All right, Josh, what you got for me out for Saturday?
We're gonna have more than 15,000 fans. Chase Carber's gonna have a game-winning rushing touchdown. It's gonna be a fun night.
Game-winning rushing touchdown.
Also, I have 5 extra tickets. If we want to beat Andy's prediction, come beat that prediction for us, guys. Let me know. Actually, hit me up.
Oh shoot! All right, Andy, what you got?
I might hit you up.
Yeah, no problem.
I think Cal will win by a couple touchdowns. I don't think it'll be that close. I think the Nevada's overhyped. We have inside info, or like we have a coach that was there recently. I think that always matters. I would be surprised if it comes down to a game-winning touchdown, which is why it's a good take, Josh. I'm not trying to say that it isn't, but yeah, big game. I think from Chase, the offense, the thing that's going to have to shine is going to be the offense. The defense will be consistent enough, or enough of what we've come to expect. But the big, if special teams does indeed not mess up, then I think that the big progression will come from the offense, and people will finally, for the first time, be able to see what a Bill Musgrave offense is actually all about.
Okay,
How about that? Nice little positive ending.
that's a great one to end on.
What is Nevada going to call, heads or tails?
Heads.
And the coin will be
Side.
stuck into the ground on the side,
Heads.
into the turf. It's just gonna stick into the turf.
Will the drum major catch the baton? Yes.
Are we putting
No.
out prop bets now? Like, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, over under.
Over under of the number of spins the coin does in the air before the ref catches it.
Times the
But I'm-
USC band plays Conquest.
Oh no. Nightmares. Nightmares.
65 times.
I've
That's
lost
it.
track around 40 whenever Cal's
Oh
played
yeah.
in the
No,
past.
I've seen Trace actually write it down on a piece of paper in the press box. Legit, I've seen him on a white piece of paper mark like tax of 5 to see how many times, and then at one point he crumpled that piece of paper up and threw it into the ground. Like he just got so upset because they kept playing it.
The Cal band back in the day used to have a little,
Yeah, they had
a
the
bunch
flip
of numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip
Yeah.
it up.
That was a good little thing that they used
Like
to
they're
do.
keeping score at a tennis match.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or an intramural ping pong
exactly.
game. But that is it, gents. Thank you all for joining. Trace, starting with you, where can people find you?
At Cal Rivals, just go there. I'll keep it short and sweet. I don't really have much ability to think right now. It's past my bedtime.
Fair enough. Josh, what about yourself? Where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, JoshCal2020. Rob, Andy, Trace, good to see you all. Looking forward to the season. My season ticket is AA row 34. First time as an alumni. Just come find me.
Yeah, you'll come out and hang out with us at the tailgate before the game too. So,
Oh, for sure. Text me your snack recommendations / preferences.
Andy, what about you? Where can they find you?
At Andy J Beast Mode, at Memorial Field,
What?
FTX Field at Memorial Stadium. Sorry, it's late. And this Saturday at 7:30, and then eventually in the press box, and then eventually at Obi Town Chicken celebrating our first win of the season. Boom.
That's our plan.
That's always.
We
the
just had
plan.
Obi Chicken last week, and we're going to Obi Chicken again. It was really good this
Hell
time
yeah.
around. Something about it.
It was. Even Diana said, she's like, "This is the best it's ever been." And I was
Yeah.
just like, "That's what I know. It's crazy, so good."
We all got to make a trip, but we shall do that.
That's over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Victory
Chicken. Victory Chicken. But you can find me at Rob11HWNGA or our podcast Twitter handle at Golden Bearcast. Find all our stuff at writeforcalifornia.com in terms of all our written stuff. And that is it from us. And as always, go Bears.